Hey all, and welcome back to a new video of a couple games that I played recently where I got to my highest rating ever, which doesn't really make sense because the quality of play is off. As you can see, I got 3 games here where I end at 2264, which is absurdly higher than I probably should be. And we're just gonna get into it. So this is the first game I have here, and I start off the game with d4, which I think is pretty normal. It's the move I normally play. d5, bishop f4, knight f6. This is the accelerated London system. e3, e6, knight d2, bishop e7, and this move knight gf3. Very normal stuff. My knight is coming up to this square. My pawn might go to c3, might go to c4. I don't really know yet. If he goes passive with c6, then I'll go c4. If he goes attacking with this move c5, and then I gotta feint back. I gotta go with this move c3, defend my center. All good stuff, all pretty normal stuff. My opponent castles. I'm like, okay, bishop d3, not touching my c pawn just yet, and he goes c5. Okay, c3, knight c6, and it's pretty normal so far. It's pretty average, pretty normal stuff. I'm trying to win, and my opponent is just doing normal things. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna put my knight into the center. I think this is normal. Put knight into the center, target stuff. My knight's going to f3. If he comes here, then I can probably take with the pawn, knight back, and I have huge attack over here with moves like queen h5, which just kind of wreck him permanently. And I'm like, okay, I'm better. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? And he's like, he shows me his intentions real clearly. He goes bishop d6. And he's like, I'm not going to sit around and wait for you to do whatever garbage you're doing. I'm going to try and attack you. And I'm going to make sure that your knight is kind of unprepared. So I have to make a concession. The concession is knight df3, of course. Reason being, the reason why it's even a concession in the first place is because I want my queen to come out. And like if I just allowed him to take, it would have been like a little awkward. Like if I play like a move like h4, which is a move, there are some lines where he can like take, and not here, but it's just a little bit strange. I'd rather have my knight in the center, in all honesty. So I go knight df3. My opponent goes knight e7. I don't know why. This is another stupid move for some reason. Like my opponents are playing garbage chess, and so am I. So I play a mistake of my own. What I could have done pretty quickly, and I could have just like won the game here. Knight g5. This is winning. There's like nothing you can do. After like h6, it's already too late after a move like h4. Like this is already game over. You can't take this, of course, because a rook gets open. Knight gets hit. Probably have to sack the knight somehow. Like this move, gf, queen takes f6, and like queen h5 is already just over. Like, yeah, see how quickly mate can come? And a lot of stuff can happen with this move, knight g5, and I'm like, you know what? Knight e7 is a stupid move. I understand that. Knight e7 is a dumb move. So I'm just going to continue going with normal plans, and I'm like, I'm going to attack you. I go h4. This is how you attack people in chess, right? Throw a pawn at them. Throw a pawn at them. Like, not physically, of course, not physically, but it also works. Like, if you can try a physical, like, throw, then it does work. They get very scared. Not from experience, of course, but like h4, and I'm throwing my pawn at them, and I'm trying to win the game. My opponent goes b6. It's winning. The only move he had is cd, ed, and a move like knight e4, and like if I take knight g5, then I'm actually worse here after a move like f6. And if I don't do that, if I go knight back, then f6 just wins everything. So yeah, that's an interesting game plan. I can't take that knight. But anyway, as you can see, like that's the only way to play. And he goes b6, trying to open up his bishop for some reason. I don't even understand. And I'm winning again here after move knight g5. Knight g5, and again I'm winning. After h6, I get queen c2 for some reason. And after takes, I'm winning here. There's nothing to it. Knight e4, takes. I hit the rook, I hit mate. It's over. It's GG's. But I don't do that. I don't do that again because I'm an idiot. And as you know, I won this game. But how did I win this game when I'm playing absolute garbage chess? I played the move h5. Not the worst move in the world, but what is it really accomplishing? I'm trying to play h6. Okay, it makes sense. I mean, every move is still logical, but h6 just is the wrong plan. Like, even if I get h6, like h6, g6, am I really attacking here? And that's what I was thinking. Like, I can go at it with g4, but even if I get that, even if I get g5 98, where's my attack? I can't find it. It's not here. Where did it go? I thought I had an attack, but now my pawns are just like in the way, and I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm not trying to play h6. Maybe that's not the best move. But the computer says that it is one of the main ideas, and he makes another big mistake. He goes bishop b7, and now I play h6. Now I play h6 because it's the best move. like it just makes sense. It's my whole plan. I'm not gonna go back on my whole plan. h6, g6, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna start targeting you. I'm gonna keep it going, and here's my actual like really bad move. Like the original plan of h4, h5, h6. Not the best plan. Sure, I got like a decent position, but it's not the best plan. I really shouldn't have done that. Here's where it all goes to garbage. This is kind of why I made this video. This game and this move was kind of why I made this video. Is this stupid move that I played. Yeah, so there was a cut there, if you couldn't tell. That's because I accidentally hit the down arrow, and then it showed you the exact ending of the game, which is not something that I wanted to do. It's true. Either way, game move I play in this position is bishop g5. And I'm like, you know what? I don't see what he does. This seems like a great move. He moves his knight down. I go and I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. And I was really angry at myself for this move. For some reason, I had internalized that he had to go back with the knight, which is actually still really, really good for black. But he just goes forward, and I can't take. I don't think, because after it takes, forced to take on e7, and if I don't, then he simply gets this move f6. And I start freaking out. I'm like, whoa, what am I doing? This is not in the game plan. I'm not trying to lose the game in like 5 moves here. That's not something I gotta do. So after bishop g5 94, I decide, okay, I gotta take a step back and admit that I'm wrong. I played a bad move. I have to admit that I'm wrong. I'm not going to take this knight, by the way, because I looked really stupid. It looked really, really dumb. I didn't want to do that. So I'm like, okay, I played a bad move. We're going to go bishop f4. Getting bishop f4, just come back. Now there's no more fork. We're all right. My opponent goes f6, and I'm like, okay. My knight is offsides now. I have to go knight g4. If I don't go knight g4, then I'm probably going to lose. But I'm probably going to lose anyway. My position is bad. Even at the end of the day, this is just the better position for black. Just the better position for black. My pawns are doubled. He has some attack on my king, but look at this beautiful pawn structure. Look at that gorgeous beauty. Look at this knight glorified in the center. This is a great position for black. He doesn't do that, though. He figures out a much better move, and he actually... Is it a better move? I'm trying to remember. I don't think it's a better move. I think it's a worse move, actually. He plays rook c8. Engine says it's a better move. Okay, I didn't... Yeah, but the idea of this move is basically he wants to come in over on this side. He wants to open up here and get the rook down and try to get some stuff over here, natural stuff. And I'm in a worse position, obviously. I decide that my bishop has no more use, and I take on d6. Okay, it's the best move. Nice. I'm still playing accurate moves. I'm not all hope is not lost. Knight d6. And I go with this move, rook c1. And my argument is, after this move, I can take with the c pawn. And now my position's not that bad, because at the end of the day, I have this file now. Your knights can't really get in because of my bishop. And I'm probably just going to castle. I'm just going to call my luck and castle. I can't go here because I get my knight in the center and I'm winning. So I thought that was a very interesting move, and it kind of stopped his plan. But I'm still much worse. I still have to keep fighting. My opponent goes queen d7. Natural move. Connecting the rooks, 1, and threatening this move, e5. Yes, I know my notation. Yeah, threatening this move e5 because it opens up an attack on my knight and threatens a fork over here on these two pieces. Okay, reasonable. So I'm like, okay, my problem is my knight. Let's keep it natural. I'm gonna go knight gh2. Terrible move. I gotta go knight back to d2. Much more natural. And after like this move, then I'm like winning here. Whoa, knight f6. Oh, that's a nice idea. Did that exist the whole time? I didn't see that at all. Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't see that at all. That's a cool idea. Oh man, that's awesome. No, I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that at all. Like if he goes here, I take the knight, comes back, take. Yeah, I'm just better here. Okay, that's really cool. No, I didn't see that. But I play knight gh2. I just thought that I had to get out of this attack. I thought this was a huge threat, and I think he missed this too. I don't think that he saw this. This is a crazy move. He plays the move b5. Okay. Attacking on the queen side for some reason. This move doesn't make any sense to me either. Like this is not the best move in the world. Like I don't really understand what the point of this move is. You're kind of going in the wrong direction is what I thought. Like if he's trying to play this move, he could do that. He has to play on the king side basically. My king is on the king side. I'm not gonna be able to castle queen side. He has to go down the center on the king side. That's where his play is. So I don't understand this move at all. This move b5, and I'm like, okay, that's dumb. And I play g4, and I'm like, you know what? I have an idea. I want to sack my pawn, get my knight here, get my knight on g4. Not a bad idea, right? I want to sack my pawn because I'm like, you know, my position's pretty rough. I think a pawn sacrifice has to be played. Otherwise, I'm going to lose and die. So I don't want that to happen, and I'm going to try and play something like that. So g4, cool idea. And my opponent goes c4, hitting the bishop. Bishop b1. Don't need to block any of my other pieces, so bishop b1. Knight e4. And I'm better here. And I have achieved the rank of being better in this position if I sack my pawn on g4, on g5. And the reason I didn't play this, and the reason why I'm a big idiot, is because I thought that after knight takes here, I didn't have this move and this. Like this. Oh wait, this actually loses. What? Knight f3 is the move? Wait, I actually need to calculate this real quick. Knight c6. I'm just gonna follow the main line for a little bit. a4, b4, cb, knight b4, knight comes in, queen e7, castles. Computer says I'm down a pawn. Okay. That's crazy. I didn't realize. But after knight e4, I do have this move g5. And what is the difference? Wait, I'm sorry. I'm actually like really confused here. What is the difference after knight f3? Difference after knight f3? Why can't he go with this move? Knight c6. Oh, because I just take on g5. But I thought that this was also bad. I thought this was terrible for black. Okay, I don't know anything about chess. Okay, we've established that. I play this move rook g1. That's the point. I play this move rook g1, and now I want to go g4, but not like lose a pawn. Okay, natural stuff. My opponent goes to queen d6, making sure that I can't play g4. And so I play g5 now. I mean g5, sorry. I'm saying g4 the whole time. Because after this, I can't take with the knight because of queen h2, knight back to f3, and queen h6. Normal stuff. So I was like, okay, well then I'm gonna be normal, and I play this move rook g2, right? Normal stuff. I'm just coming in, I'm defending my knight. My rook doesn't really matter there because my king can't castle anyway. My king might be able to hide over here in some lines. Rook g2 I just thought was like an all-purpose good move. And my opponent plays a very nice move, g5. Good stuff, stopping me from playing g5 myself. I mean that's what they put in the rule book. But if you've had a keen eye this game, and the reason why I win this game, my opponent has 36 seconds on the clock versus my 4 minutes. What in the world is this time spend? That is one of the worst spendings of time I think I have ever seen. For example, he spent 30 seconds on this move. Look at this move. He spent a minute and a half on Queen D6. What? How are you 2200, dude? Well, 2150. But still, like, that's absurd. I go knight g1. Now I'm just making moves because I'm like, oh, my opponent's gonna lose anyway, so why do I even care? Knight g6. I'm like, okay. I go knight e2. I'm gonna put my knight here. This is technically a blunder, this move. I have to sack my rook and stuff, but like, he has 32 seconds. I didn't think that he'd be able to do anything. Oh, he does actually play this move. I go bishop e4. He has to go here, here, and here. Pretty easy tactic, but he doesn't see it because he has 32 seconds on clock, and I play rook g3, and I'm like, okay, it's over. King h8, king d2, e5. I go queen h1, and he just times out. He's 10 seconds on the clock. He loses. And that's this first game, and that's like a whole series. That starts like a win streak of mine of winning these stupid games. And I've got another one for you. If you're here still here for this next one, then I mean, I'm gonna reward you. We have 2 more games here. This one's probably the shortest one because my opponent did something very stupid, and one more after this where I mean, I did dumb stuff as well. So there's a lot of stupid things going on in this video, but if you stay this far, I'm gonna reward you with 2 more games. My opponent goes e4 and I go c5, which is an opening I have been like playing recently. If you follow this channel for a while, you know I play c6 pretty religiously and go d5, but I've been learning the dragon variation. If you know me, then like okay, I mean, now you know all my prep, yay, cool. But I've been learning the dragon variation recently, and I've been trying to like learn it in like many different games, getting like online like rapid games, online blitz games in these positions, and I'm trying to like understand them. So my opponent goes knight f3, I go d6. I don't really have much theory for these lines. c3, knight c6, and d4, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take on d4. I think this is natural. Actually, this is knight c6, by the way, is a terrible move. I gotta go knight f6. Some Sicilian theory, I don't really know, in all honesty. I don't understand, because it looks like this move is very strong, but actually this is bad. Okay, yeah, I guess I could just get a lot of development. Okay, interesting, like Sicilian theory. I'm gonna work on that by myself. But knight c6, my opponent goes d4, I go cd. I'm like, okay, this is natural, and I go g6, and as I'm trying to play the dragon, right? This is my whole thing. I want to get my bishop there. I want to play something that looks like this, and I'm just trying to learn this. Knight c3, bishop g7, obviously the best move. h3, and I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna go knight f6. I don't think that this move is any good anymore, because after de here and like queen d1, take knight d5 or something. Yeah, maybe knight d5, maybe knight e4, something like that. And like the pawn, yeah, the pawn is gonna die. But like it's pretty normal stuff. And I'm like, okay, e5 doesn't work, knight f6. My opponent goes a3. Reasonable, just taking away the square from my knight. I'm like, okay, I have seen this idea in a couple of Sicilian lines that I've like watched online. So I'm gonna play a5, right? I'm just gonna stop b4 because that looked like his next move if I did nothing. Like if I played castles, I thought b4 might come, but actually I'm fine here. Okay, yeah, I really know nothing about this opening. But a5, my opponent goes bishop e3, and I go castles, and I think we're like officially out of the opening, so I'm gonna stop giving myself slack. The castle is a pretty reasonable move. Of course, just casting my king can never be too wrong, but the advantage for my opponent is plus 1.2, which is not going too well. And how did I win from this stupid position where I'm completely lost? Well, I'll show you. I go bishop. He goes bishop d3, and I go to knight f d7, trying to play this move e5, which is like obviously the main pawn break in the position. You can't go here, of course, because knight c5. And like this position is fine. This position is probably even better for black. It says it's not, but practically speaking, it's a little bit better for black. Instead, my opponent goes rook c1, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to play the move e5. This is the pawn break that I've been wanting to play, And after this move d5, right, I can go like knight d4 and try to go for something. But actually, after knight d4, like, isn't my pawn a little stuck? Takes here, like this looks pretty bad. I don't know how to defend it really. Queen b6, ugh. I'm not sure if I'm too happy with that. Like, maybe even queen here, queen c2. I don't know about that line. But it's the best line. And stupid me had a different idea after e5. And the idea was to go f5 with this move knight e7. And on the surface, this idea makes a lot of sense, right? I'm just going to go here and take with my knight. I'm going to activate my pieces, and my position's going to break out. And this is what like a lot of people do in like cramped positions with black, is they try to do like pawn breaks with like e5 and f5, or like c5 and d5, something like that. And okay, this makes sense. My opponent has a couple moves that just win the game. Like castles is +2, bishop b5 is +2. What's another move? Knight d2 is +1.6. Like it's absurd how this position just gets awful for black. And honestly, the move I was like preventing, I was trying to prevent, was this move bishop g5, and I think I found something good against it. I was gonna go h6 here and like g5 maybe, yeah, g5 and then f5, and then I was gonna go with my idea. I thought that was a pretty decent idea against that. But my opponent makes a bad move. He goes bishop c2, a move I don't really understand. Well, okay, I understand it, but when I say I don't understand a move, like I see the idea behind it, but I think it's a stupid idea, right? Like that's what I mean when I'm saying like I don't understand. His idea is clear that he wants to go out like this way and start pressuring me, but I just don't think that's where the bishop wants to be, right? Because why is the bishop over here? Why would it do that? I don't understand what the target is over here. So I'm like, okay, that looks dumb. And I go f5. I go with my plan, and I'm doing pretty well. He has to make some concessions, and he does in a really, really terrible way, in probably the worst way possible. He goes ef5, and now I'm back in the game. I go knight takes f5. My knights get in. Knight e4, and I don't know what he was planning, but I just take on e3. And okay, now you have weaknesses. Like, now you got problems. And I'm doing a lot better. Of course, he's attacking this pawn. I could go with this move, queen b6, defending this, attacking this, targeting this. But I didn't like that move. I thought it would be much more natural just to develop my knight to f6. It's slightly worse than the queen b6, but it makes sense. Thought bench move, bishop h6. Okay. Knight f6. My opponent goes castles, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take on e4. And then go queen b6, and now what I got here, I got these two terrible pawns. My bishop can come out, my rook is active, my other bishop is active, and I'm just winning, is what I thought. I was like, man, my position is much better than he is. But there's still play here. There's still play for my opponent. The opponent goes queen d2. I go bishop h6, and my opponent goes rook ec1, or rook c1, sorry. And I'm like, okay, I have to think here. It's a tough position. What I really want to do, I want to apply more pressure to this pawn that's pinned to his king. So I have a nice idea. Bishop f5, right? He has to take. Well, he doesn't have to take. He can defend his bishop with like this move, but he loses a pawn and all those lines. Like this move, take. I get some fork here somewhat. And I'm like, okay, he has to take after bishop f5. I don't want to take with a pawn, maybe. Maybe I'll take with a rook and double up. I don't know just yet, but I feel like that's the way to progress in the position. So I play bishop f5 and he resigns. Yeah. He just resigns. I don't know what the issue was. Maybe he thought that I was just winning, and my position is better, but like he's fine. Like even if he loses the pawn, it's not the end of the world. I don't understand what he was thinking, and that brings us to game number 3. Probably the worst game out of the bunch. And the reason why it's the worst game is because it's the best game out of the bunch. Best game out of the bunch, except for one move. And we'll get into it. I go d4, knight f6, Bishop g5. This is the opening I play against knight f6. I think it's a very nice opening. Okay, can we stop with this? There's some like stuff that chess.com is doing. Sorry. Bishop g5, and this is the Tripowski attack. Very nice idea. He goes d6, which is a line that's very, very rare. Very, very rare line. I can take on f6. I can play e3. I can play c4. Play knight c3. There's a lot of moves here. This is like the only line I don't really look at that much. I probably have to look at it more, but this is the only line I really don't look at that much, so I don't really know much theory here. I'm like, okay, I go e3. My opponent goes knight d7, and this is probably the most instructive game out of the bunch because I play well here. I thought c4 was very natural, taking space over here. Now I want to put knight c3 behind the c-pawn. Knight f3 is going to come. Of course, you can kick me out whenever you want, but then I'm going to go here. He does kick me out. I played the wrong move, but it's really not that big of a deal. The annotation really hates it, though. I really should have played bishop h4. He doesn't find the move after this. I played bishop f4. Not a very good move. This is probably like the worst move of the game besides the move. But like bishop f4 runs into e5, and I shouldn't have played this. I realized my mistake after that move, but I'm only slightly worse there. It's not the end of the world. I go bishop f4. He misses the move. He goes g5, and I go bishop g3, and the same position arises. And my opponent goes bishop g7. Okay, this is his idea. He wants to go h6, g5, bishop g7, bring his bishop out, and try to do something like that. Okay, very reasonable. I go knight c3. Now his knight can't flit into the center. I have this move coming. I have bishop d3 coming. Maybe I play bishop e2, threaten something over here, h4, something over here. Like, castles would probably be a mistake in this position. But lo and behold, he plays move castles. And I'm like, oh, well then. Looks like I'm going to win this game. And that's what I was saying to myself. That seems like the wrong idea. And I could have played h4 immediately. But for some reason, I was worried about g4. And I was like, wait, he like locks me down over here? I don't really like that. Actually, I'm probably just winning after bishop d3. Actually, even h5? No, h5 doesn't work. h5 doesn't work. So I decided to repair the move with bishop e2. Both a developing move, and it's one that prevents g4 and h5. So I'm like, that makes sense. My opponent goes e5, and I go h4. Now I'm attacking him. If he plays g4, I'm just going to take the pawn. But that's the best move, actually, because he has tactics. g4 is a move. Takes, and he has tactics with this bishop. He has this move f5 here. Okay, I was wrong. He doesn't have tactics with the bishop. Not to mention, this pawn is kind of hanging. f5. I'm just going to go down the main line real quick. Sorry. Queen d1 and f4, and my bishop is kind of stuck. Wait. That's not the end of the deal. ed. My opponent gives me ed, and I'm worse here. Queen f6. Knight f3. d3 here. Queen e6 check. Ah, yes. Okay. Either way, he doesn't find that move because that's kind of inhuman, and he plays a move that he thought was good. ed4. ed4. I recaptured the pawn. I don't want to get my queen off this file for off the diagonal for any reason, so I'm like, okay, normal stuff. And he goes rook e8, and I'm like, whoa, dude, take a break. Now what I get, sorry for the really stupid voice, and now what I get is the open H file, and I'm winning. And that's what I told myself here. This attack is going to be fatal. My opponent is going to lose. I am very, very handsome. One of those three things is a lie. It's the handsome part. It's the chess is pretty correct. I'm not actually that good looking in real life. I'm actually not very good looking. But anyway, HG, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play normal stuff. Knight f3, normal stuff. If he plays g4, like he does actually play this move, I'm like, okay, I can probably like flit in the center. I play not the best move here. I go knight h4. I thought it made sense. I might play this move. He really should have played knight f8, trying to defend this. Actually, he does. He does play knight f8. Okay, I didn't realize. Yeah, but actually the move here is knight d2, which kind of doesn't make sense because it's in the way of my queen, and I kind of want my queen to be on c2 defending the bishop still, so I can long castle and then bring my rooks over and win. But yeah, whatever. Knight h4, and my opponent goes knight f8, defending the f5 square for my knight, and I go queen d3. Okay, now my knight is probably going to go to the knight f5 square, and I'm going to go long castles. That's my main idea. I really want to go long castles, because then this bishop isn't pinned anymore. I can bring my rook, and now I got 2 open files in that position. Like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's what we want to see. And he comes up with this insanely creative move that I wasn't even looking at. He comes up with this great move, b5. Like, really smart stuff. Really smart stuff here. That's a great move. Like, I don't care that Stavich gives it an accuracy. That's an incredible move. And the idea is that whatever piece I take with, he's gonna have like some serious play. If I take with my knight, I thought that he got this move, and I was like, oh no, that's really bad. Like, he's gonna get my bishop. If I go long now, like, I'm lost actually. c6, knight c3, knight c3, bc. Like, oh no, and I'm like, okay, I can't take with the knight. And if I take with a pawn, I'm like, he's going to go a6 and then develop the bishop. And then he's going to have more pressure. And then he might be able to get knight e4 anyway. And I'm like, oh my god. That's a crazy move. And I was trying to find anything that I could do, like this move knight f5. This is the second engine move. And I was like, no, I don't think it works. So then I played the move I thought I had to play. And I played cb, which is the best move. And after the move a6, which is of course his idea, I realized a decent plan here. Of course, the first thing everyone thinks of is takes, but this is really bad, I thought, after bishop a6. I'm like, whoa. No. This is awful. This is terrible stuff. Not going to happen. Not going to take. And this is kind of what took me the longest. I could play this move b6, top engine move, giving back the pawn, but now I get knight f5, and he doesn't have these bishop a6 anymore. I didn't like this because I thought he had like a after... No, I just didn't like this because I was stupid. I forgot that he has to take first, and then he doesn't have a light square bishop to do that with. Okay, that was me being an idiot. But still, a6 is a great move, and I'm like, okay, I just ignore it. I have to ignore it. I go knight f5. I go with my plan. Now I want your dark sword bishop. Basically, if he ever gives me his dark sword bishop, I'm winning the game. And I'm like, okay, you gotta take with the bishop. You gotta take that knight. He does. I go queen f5, of course, and he goes ab. And I have a choice here. I can take with the queen, I can take with the knight, or I cannot take it all. I don't think that not taking it all is correct. Actually, it is correct. I gotta go like move like bishop h4 or king f1. King f1 makes the most sense to me. I was actually considering this move. But at the end of the day, I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna take with the knight because I don't want him to get this move. I really don't want knight e4 ideas. Like, that's like the worst possible scenario for me. So I took back with the queen and allowed this move rook b8, which is obviously his idea, winning back my pawn. But after queen d3, of course the best move, my opponent takes here, and I'm like, you know what? And he's done a really good job of defending this king. These squares are always defended, and I gotta get my king out of dodge here. So I decided I was going to castle. And this is the best move. I'm very proud of this move, actually. A lot of people don't, like, understand these types of moves. Like, why would you take your rook off the open file? But like, you know, what's the term for it? It's like rules can be broken or something like that. And getting my king safe and out of the center is much more important than keeping the open file, which isn't really doing anything for me right now. So my opponent plays queen d7. Okay, I guess the idea is this or something. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to trade the rooks. There's nothing you can do to stop me. His rook is trapped if he doesn't take, so he's forced to take. And I go rook b1. If he wants to trade both rooks, he could after this move. He could go here, but I thought this was just dumb. Like, why would you trade both rooks? Rook b1 is probably good for me, but the engine says a4. And I just have a passed pawn, and there's no more attack. Very nice move, a4. But instead he just takes, and I have a very, very slight advantage in the endgame because of my outside passer. and the fact that his pawn is a little weak on g5. My opponent goes queen c6, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to play normal stuff. I'm going to do normal stuff. I'm going to go d5 first. That seems like the best move. Now the knight can't get into d5, which was kind of his whole idea. Knight can't get into e4 still. Of course, that's still the worst possible option. And I'm like, okay, I'm better. My opponent goes back to d7, and I'm like, I'll threaten something. You know what? I think that I can bring my queen back to c2 or something, and like, I don't know. Now my queen gets in play, and I'm threatening this move bishop b4. So I play queen c2, which is okay. And the idea, like bishop b4, that's a skewer. You have to do something about that. Yeah. And this is another game that goes down as one of those stupid games because my opponent just allows it. He just allows bishop b5, and I was dumbfounded. Why, man? Why? Give me a good game. Stop hanging your pieces. Why are these 2200s so bad? They're so bad. c6, bishop c6, and I just win the exchange, and I'm up a pawn. What is going on? What is going on? These are not the same players I play like every other day. They're normally a lot better than this. They're a lot better than this. I go knight e4 because I'm trying to win. I'm gonna attack this pawn. Now my rook's gonna come in. Like, okay, knight e5. I go rook b8. I threaten a little tactic here. He misses it, so I take on d6 is a cool tactic. Both the pieces can't take. If queen takes, he loses the knight. If knight takes, well, literally he loses the king, so that's not gonna work. So I'm like, okay, queen takes, rook e8, king f7, bishop e5. What I probably should have done here, and another reason why this game will go down in this video instead of a video where I actually play well, is because of this move that I just played. The rest of this game was actually a pretty good game. I think I played pretty well. Except for this move. I hang my rook in one move. Why did I do this? The funny part about it's not even losing because I'm just completely winning everywhere else. Like, he just doesn't have enough pawns to do anything. Like, I'm still... It's just a draw, but why did I do this? I just lose my rook, man. What? That's demoralizing. That's demoralizing. And what's funny is that I didn't even see it until after the game. But I see like a spike in the evaluation. He doesn't see it either. He plays bishop f6. Bishop f6. What in the world is bishop f6? And I'm like, okay, now I'm rook e6. This is my idea. I didn't even see that I hung the rook. I didn't even see that I hung the rook. That's the crazy part. It goes queen d8. Easy thing to do here, just trade everything. Winning endgame, a4. But like, that's insane. I win the game nicely. I kind of get everything, and then he hangs his queen on one move. But what is this game? Like, I would have played a great game if not for this, and it's just the weirdest spike, and I didn't even seem to laugh at the game. What am I doing? I'm not supposed to be winning these games. Luckily today I played a bad game and I actually lost the game. I'll show that game in a later video maybe, but whoa, like come on me. I can do better than this. I'm a better chess player than this. Yes, I am. I don't know why I'm speaking in this accent, but I am better chess player than this. And I hope I recover. Either way, that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys found this entertaining, instructive, all of the above. If you did, remember to like, subscribe to all the normal things YouTubers tell you to do. And if you want, you can send me some games. I'm going to put my email in the description. I might do like some like viewer games. I'll like show some, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. Good evening and good night.